Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's look. No, it's not a look, it's a tutorial. Today's how-to is going to be on my brows. I did them really quick, but I kind of in-depth showed you how to fill them in but still keep them natural. There's really only so much you can say about that, so let's just get started. So this one's already filled in, obviously. My brows are pretty thick to begin with, and the hairs themselves are very coarse. So I tried to keep them as natural as possible looking. As you can see, I don't think there's like a huge difference other than it's straight lines. I do prefer the ones that have a very like point rather than like fat. This one is, like I said, filled in already. We cleaned it up. Let's do the other one. I push all of the hairs going up. My brows honestly kind of need to be done, but oh well. I am going to start at the tail of my brow and right where your arch is underneath, kind of draw a line right there. The biggest part of getting these like natural soft brows is having a very light hand. So you want to have a light hand throughout the whole thing, and I kind of like pick up and go over in a feathering kind of way. So I'm going to start there and gradually bring it all the way down. And I like to make my tail a little bit longer than it is. So the end of the brow is going to be the darkest part of the brow, and when you still want to use a light hand, but you could kind of be, you can use the most pressure that you're going to use right now. Okay, so you see I have a gap here. I had a scar there, so that's like where I really need to focus on with this brow. So then I like to start kind of midway. I don't want to start all the way here because that's going to be the lightest part. So again, pick up and go. And connect it. If you want, you could bring it down, but I like to have it right where the actual brow is just because my brows are pretty thick. I don't need them any thicker. And now for this part, I'm going to hardly put any pressure while holding it. And really just softly kind of fade it. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to clean it up in the end. So going back to the part where I have some gaps, I'm going to start there by kind of just, I never want to like color, but just flick over it and then kind of bring it all the way down. I'm not touching the top part of my brow yet, just kind of filling in the inside. You don't have to get like every single part. You don't want it to be like solid filled in because then it's not going to look natural. It's not going to look like they're hairs that you drew in rather than like you colored it in. This part right here, that's kind of like where I have the most gaps. You can actually notice I do kind of make it a little bit thicker there. And I'm going to hold the brush more like straight. And we're gonna literally just like flick it up very softly. You do want to start it right at the line though, just because you don't want it to, well, we want them to look natural, want them to look good too. And then like I said, you don't want it to like every single part to be filled in, just because to look natural. You want them to look like hairs. So I kind of bring that all the way here to where we started like the line. And just flick it. I just went ahead and pushed my hairs going down now. I'm going to focus on the ends. So I start kind of right where there's my arch, and I want to go a little bit in front of that. And I'm going to trace it very, very lightly and bring it down. So and like I said, same thing for the top as the bottom. You could be a little more heavy-handed here. And connect it all the way down to there. So now we got a really unblended brow. So you just kind of do the feathering motions on top. Connect it. Go a little bit to the front, but not anything that's like a line. Going back in with the spoolie, I like to just brush it all out. Kind of go over everything that we did so nothing's too harsh, and this is really gonna make it look like natural hairs. And then this part up, and I do go over the actual line to make it softer. Now to clean them up, you could take any concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 10. I like to use a brush that is flat like that. I literally only use this for concealer, that's why it looks so nasty. And I take a little bit, so I just dipped a little bit in the brush, and kind of repeating ourselves, we're going to outline the brow. So start right where the arch is. And just bring it all the way down. You can pick up your hand like you did for the brows, but it's kind of easier just to do it in one because it'll give you a straight line. And now I start right there. Really want that part to be like the most defined. And you could even go over where we lined just a little bit so it's really thin there, to make it look like you didn't even fill it in there. And then, so all I did was connect the rest of the concealer to the tail part of it. And with that brush, I just lightly bring that concealer down to blend it. I just clean up underneath. I don't ever really clean up on top. I had to in this case just because I wiped up some of my foundation. I will then take a brush with some highlighter, put that just right under my brow bone. Softly. Final touch is to take any brow gel and I just brush up the brow. And you could go over like if you missed any spots. I think I could zoom you out now. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope I made it look as easy as it is. There's really no tricks, secrets to it. I just like my brows pretty natural looking, but I still need to fill them in on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.